Molweniiiii Bantase. You understand? I am the one, the only KhiweG herself. Yes. Yes. So listen before we get into this. Please hit the subscribe button. Okanye jonga, mamen. I'll let you watch this video till the end to decide whether you want to subscribe. But I mean, if you pass the 5-minute mark and you still haven't subscribed, I mean, you can't enjoy my content, so please subscribe. Also, like the video. Also, follow me on Twitter and on Instagram at KhiweG. And yeah, let me introduce this video. So this video is natural hair terminology. I have come to a realization and I have come to a point to know that not a lot of people know the natural hair terms, because in the natural hair community we have quite a lot of terms that we use, and it can get overwhelming, especially if you're starting out your natural hair journey. So I'm just here to help you understand. And if you know any more terms that I might have left out in this list of mine, then please do share them in the comment section below. Right? Guys, I even made notes just to show how serious I am about this video. Anyways, so the first term, natural hair. Natural hair is hair that hasn't been chemically altered by using creams, lotions, or texturizers. And then we get to transitioning hair. A lot of people don't know what this is, and people tend to get confused with this. But I'm here. Transitioning hair is when you're growing out your damaged ends and you get a new growth. Remember when you went to the salon back in the day and the lady would say, "Oh, une growth sana lwam. Need to comb it out." Scenes. That's transitioning. That means you're growing out your damaged ends and you are seeing the new growth, which is your natural hair. Right. Then relaxed hair is hair that has been altered by using lotions, creams, texturizers to make them easier to manage and to basically straighten them. And then the big chop is when you finally decide that you're going to cut off all of your hair, or you're going to cut off your damaged ends if you were transitioning. You get. A lot of people feel more comfortable with transitioning and then doing the big chop instead of just cutting the hair completely. But then it is kind of tricky, because when you have transition hair, you have to deal with 2 hair textures, which can be very, very frustrating, as I have heard and as I have seen from friends. And now we get into the more technical stuff of natural hair. Right? Porosity. Porosity is the ability of your hair strands or cuticles to absorb moisture, ne? And you may have heard of or seen in like with faves then about, oh, I have high porosity, I have low porosity, I have blah, 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 blah. So high porosity hair is when your hair cuticle is more open and it can absorb more moisture, right? And people tend to use cream. Now, since high porosity hair strands / shafts are more open, then that means they are more prone to receiving moisture and losing moisture. This is why people tend to use creams, but some people may use butters and some people may use creams and butters. It all depends on what your hair loves. It all depends on which ingredient clicks with your hair. So please keep all of this in mind throughout this entire video. To seal off when they're doing their wash day routine, and then they'd probably use like the LOC method, you get, which is the liquid oil cream, just to seal everything. And then the medium porosity, your hair absorbs any and everything, your hair doesn't have a problem, you're basically good to go. Okay, you're good to go. And then there's low porosity. Low porosity hair, the cuticle is closed, né? meaning you have to use heat to open it up. By that, I would mean like getting into a shower so that your cuticles open and you can like, the hair can grasp the moisture of the humidity. You understand? So, so yes, that is low porosity. And you can perform the porosity test by, let's say maybe like you have a comb or a brush that you haven't cleaned yet. Just take a piece of your hair or just pluck it out of your scalp. I mean, if you rock and roll like that, then we can move. But it has to be clean hair. Eh? It has to be clean. And then you will I think it's like lukewarm water or something. And then you put your hair in your strand or two strands in the water. If your hair sinks, then that means you have high porosity hair. If your hair floats in the middle of the glass, then you have medium. And if your hair just floats on top, you have low. Another term, density. Density is how widely spread your pores are. Like, if you open up like this, and you couldn't see any scalp, then that would mean I have high density hair. But now that I've opened up like a little bit like this, you can see a little scalp, but there's still hair. You get. I have medium density. And then you just see scalp, then it's low density. Ne? So yeah, it varies from natural to natural. It really, really does. I've just shown you how to perform the test, so go ahead. Width. I know. Nobody ever thinks of this. Width is how thin or how thick a single strand is, right? Okay, let me be rock and roll a little. Hold up.
Just to show you. Okay, this is going to hurt like.
Oh, that hurt. So you can barely see it. Where is it? There it is. You can barely see it, meaning I have thin strands, right? So yeah, you can do the test like that. And then we get to the TWA, the TWA. You know, my friend asked me, "Hey Khiwe, what is a TWA?" I was like, "Huh? It's TWA, man." Oh, a TWA. It's really not anything bizarre or anything. It's a teeny weeny afro. And we move on. Like right now, I don't think I have a teeny weeny afro. Teeny weeny afro is when like there's some movement going on in your head. There's a mnyagazo going in. Right now there's no mnyagazo. The wind can't do anything to my hair. It's just there. So that is what a TWA is. It's just a teeny weeny afro. And then let's talk about hair types. So there are 4 hair types, right? So there's type 1, type 2, type 3, and type 4. I'm type 4. Rot. So type 1 is your straight hair. Type 2 is your wavy hair. Type 3 is the curly hair. Type 4 is the coily and kinky hair. And then in those 4 types, there are subtypes. So type 1 doesn't really have a subtype because it's just straight. It's bone straight, right? Type 1 and type 2, I really don't think they have... Well, type 1 obviously does not have a subtype. It's just straight hair. You get, it's bone straight. And then type 2, I think there's an A and a B, if I'm not mistaken. Like, this is just something I just thought about right now. It's not on the list. Ne? Yeah. And then anyway, type 3, we have type 3A, type 3B, and type 3C. Type 3A is kind of close to type 2, which is like the wavy curl. And then 3B is, it gets more tighter. The curl gets more tighter. And then type 3C, it's an actual curl, right? Right. And then type 4, there's type 4A, type 4B, type 4C. So type 4A, yeah. Type 4B, yeah. Type 4C, yeah. I am not sure what is happening on my head, but I believe I have type 4C over here. I have B around somewhat of the circumference on my head. And then at the back, I have 4A because I tend to have more hang time, which is weird. Hang time is how your hair reacts to water. Like, does your hair bounce and do those things? That's hang time. And there's also hair texture. Hair texture is defined by how coarse your hair is. Oh, it can be coarse, it can be medium, it can be fine. I don't have coarse hair. I think it's medium, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. And then we get to the wash day. So, let's go. So there's the pre-poo. A pre-poo is, let me read it. A pre-poo is treatment done before shampooing to help against stripping of your hair's natural oils. So now you guys know what pre-pooing is. And pre-pooing is very, very important to me, honestly. Unless you have a moisturizing shampoo, then that's cool. But I mean, taking extra precaution is not a bad thing. It's never a bad thing, you get. So pre-poo. Do the pre-poo. Do the pre-poo. Just find the oil that works for you. And it mustn't be like a thick oil. And then we often hear sulfate-free, paraben-free, blah, blah, blah free. So what a sulfate-free shampoo is, a sulfate-free shampoo is a shampoo that doesn't strip your hair of all the natural oils or the oils you put in the hair. You get, your hair doesn't feel as squeaky as steel wool afterwards. You get, doesn't feel like cotton wool. It doesn't feel like, it doesn't have Raja, it doesn't have Robertson, you know? It doesn't feel like that. Co-wash. A co-wash is a conditioner only wash, meaning you only wash your hair using conditioner. You never ever use sulfates. Okay, not never ever, because that's reaching. That's reaching. For me, right? But I know some people that just use conditioner only to wash their hair, and I'm just like, and then what do you do when there's the gunk of the... But okay. If it's working for you, honey, do it. And that is my motto. If something works for you, stick to it. Stick to it. Okay? Moving on. And then there's deep conditioning. I'm going to read this one again. Deep conditioning is a practice that can restore strength of hair so that it can withstand day-to-day manipulation without damage. So when you deep condition your hair, you'll do it maybe on a Saturday. And then your hair is dry by Monday. And then maybe you want to have like a style, you know. Oh, let's say you do a twist out, braid out, flat twist. I'm going to put something over here. Let's say you want to do one of those styles, right? So you will have to deep condition, because those styles take a lot of manipulation. They take a lot of detangling. They take a lot of moisturizing. You just going down the hair, moisturizing, detangling, combing, vularing the mita, you know? Making sure your parting is straight and everything. That is manipulation. And deep conditioning can help with that. Well, it does help with that. Bringing me to my next point. Protein treatments. I'm going to read it again. Protein treatments boost the hair with nutrients and proteins that help reconstruct and strengthen the hair strands. And it's essential for dyed hair, as the hair is more brittle and prone to breakage, and some protein has been lost due to the dye. So yeah, that is protein treatments. And then while we're still on the wash day thing, what is a wash day? A wash day is a routine that you create to manage your hair before, during, and after cleansing your hair. That's a wash day. And then there's the regimen. You get regimen, that one. This is what you do to your hair after washing it, which is like the braid outs, the cornrows, or whatever, you know. The kitchen area, which is the nape of your hair, the back of your hair, you know. It's protective style. A protective style. A lot of people confuse this. They don't know the actual meaning of protective style. But I'm gonna tell you. A protective style is a style that has your hair's ends tucked away. That is a protective style. A protective style can be as simple as having, let's say you have 6 braids in your hair, you tucking away those braids, that is a protective style. It doesn't need to be fancy. You don't need to put in extensions. You just tucking away your ends, that is a protective style. This helps protect your hair from the damaging conditions that you may be living in and stuff, which include the sun and the combing of your hair. Because the ends of your hair are the oldest part of your hair. Another YouTuber calls them the elders. So please take care of your elders, man. Take care of your elders. Make sure when you seal in your moisture, you do that coil thingy. Just so your ends are tucked away. You get just so your ends are tucked away. Your elders are safe. Keep your elders safe. So then there's the LOC method or the LCO method. Then there's the LOB and then the LBO, right? The C and the B can swap, as I have stated in my previous wash day video, right? That is a butter or a cream. This all depends on the absorption level of your hair strands, your cuticles, your shafts, you know. For my hair specifically, I use the LOB method. I use a butter instead of a cream. I mean, I do have a curl defining cream, but I don't use that on a regular. I usually use the butter, right? And it seals the moisture so nicely. It's so nice, it's so nice, you know. And the liquid that I use is either a leave-in conditioner or water. And the oil, for me, it has to be a thin oil. Otherwise, my hair will get all clogged up and then the butter won't be absorbed and then it's just going to be a tricky situation. And yeah. So I'm basically speaking about my experience here, right? So for you, it might be different. Your hair might need a thick oil. Your hair might need a thick butter. Some people's hair might need a thin oil and a thin butter, or a thin oil and a thick butter. So it all varies in your natural hair texture, your porosity, and yeah. Oh, before I forget, something just popped in my mind again. Slip. There's something called slip, right? Slip is how your hair responds to a conditioner or a product, but it's mainly used to describe a conditioner. When you put the conditioner in your hair and you try to detangle it and the comb or whatever you're detangling with gets stuck, then that product doesn't have slip. But if you slap that product on your hair and the brush just slides, it just glides, that product has slip. Okay, so that is all I have on my list. If you think I left something out, please be sure to put it in the comment section below so that we can help each other in this natural hair community things, right? So I am done. And I have been the one, the only KhiweG herself. Please do not forget to follow me on Instagram and on Twitter and subscribe to my channel at KhiweG on all social media platforms. And yeah. We are officially on the road to 1K. Goodbye.